Thank you very much for coming this evening. It will be around 50 minutes of presentation. And actually, it will be my first time doing it in English. My English, my English are very good, but it will be the first time, so be prepared. And actually, what I'm aspired to is to have an English seminar, and it's already scheduled. So in November, I will be coming here for the Greek seminar. I will be coming also for the English seminar. There is already a Greek seminar in Greece on May, but it will be in Nicosia also on November. Okay. So let's start. Yes. In Nicosia, and in May it's in Greece. But we'll see how it will go, how it will develop from today. This Greek new expansion, English expansion, and for English speakers, and maybe there will be more English seminars in the future. Okay. So, this method is called Thetahealing, and Viana Staples is an American lady, and she's the founder of this technique. She started around 30 years ago, and now Thetahealing is very famous all over the world, especially in her country, but also in Greece as well, all over Europe, Australia, and Japan, especially in Japan. So the brief story is that she was very sick, she had cancer, and she cured next day. She made an inner process, an inner meditation, and she was cured. And after that, because the doctors gave her only 3 months of living, after that she thought, okay, I think what happened to me, I'm human, I'm not an angel, so it can happen to everybody. So after that, I started thinking how I can transmit this knowledge to the rest of the world, and this is how she created her first seminars, and she wrote her books. Now these 2 English books, the first is the basic, the second is the more advanced. We'll sell them upstairs, but you can find them on the Amazon or on the internet as well. So the way you can approach this technique is through the seminars. So the seminars are for self-awareness. The seminars are to learn the technique so you can make a session on yourself and heal yourself. You can make a session on the third person and heal that person. But also you can do it professionally. So if you think this is the path of your life and you want to develop it professionally, you have the opportunity to do so. So you can become a professional theta healer, or you can become a theta healing instructor. If you don't want to do these things because it's not the path of your life, of course you can use it for your own friends and family and for yourself. So you can approach it through the seminars. You can approach it through the books. You can just read the books. You don't have to go to the seminars. You will learn a lot of things through the books. And if you don't want books or seminars, you can always do a private session with a healer, and just to solve your own problems, your private problems, and your private issues. What's happening in the beginning, before we do this session on ourselves or on somebody else, we have to enter what is called a theta brainwave. And when we access this theta brainwave, we have to have the intention to connect or to tune with the divine consciousness. What we mean divine consciousness in theta healing is that it can be explained also scientifically, which I will be doing later in a few minutes. We mean the unconditional love. We mean the wisdom, the inner wisdom. You can call it with any name you like. You can call it higher self. You can call it religiously as Christ or Buddha. You can call it in psychological terms like inner wisdom, or in more spiritual terms like higher consciousness or higher self. Whatever is the highest in you that refers to the highest of the highest, there's nothing above that. This is what we call God. I will refer to it as God because this is my culture. In the Theta Healing books, it's referred as a creator, but it doesn't mean any being. It means consciousness. It means high consciousness. Even science now on with the new quantum physics, they say everything in the universe, it's not matter anymore. It's energy and consciousness. It's information. So let's see these brain waves. What we mean, we have to access the theta brain wave. We have our brain. All these parts of our brain, they consist of brain cells. This brain cells has this shape, as you see it here. We have 1 billion yeah, 100 billion cells. We have 100 billion cells, and each one connects with each other, as you see here in this picture. This is the ending of the one cell, and this is the ending of the other cell. They never touch each other. What they do, they transmit an electrical pulse from one to another. This only the brain cells are doing. This is the capacity only of the brain cells. So what this means that since there is an electrical pulse, we can measure it. So the scientists are measuring it, and they have it in categories. So they call it delta. They just gave names from the alphabet. And delta brainwave is the brainwave that our brain is. That means that the pulses, electrical pulses, they don't have so much high frequency. It's very low frequency, which means that that moment we're in a deep sleep or in a deep meditation. The theta brainwave is the wave that we work with it in this technique. You see, this is very slow, just one circle. This is a second. We measure brain waves in hertz. So hertz is how frequent the wave is within 1 second. So this, in 1 second, just one circle. But here you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and then maybe here 14, and here 50 circles per minute. So when we are in theta brainwave, this means that we are in a very deep meditation, not so deep as in delta brainwave, but deep enough to explore our inner self, and also at the same time to be conscious, like in order to be able to interpret what we perceive inside. Alpha brainwave is when we close our eyes and we are very, very relaxed, and beta brainwave is now. Now, because I'm talking and you have your eyes open and you are awake, this is the brainwave. It's more prevalent in our brain now. And gamma is when we try to solve difficult problems and we have very quickly to synthesize information. Then the mind has to work very fast. Then it enters that brainwave, the gamma brainwave. So we work with the theta brainwave because then we can relax. So this is very fast. We are very alert here. But here we are very relaxed, but not so relaxed as in the delta that you are in a deep sleep. You don't have any consciousness of your surroundings. Here, you have consciousness of your surroundings, but at the same time, you are very deep inside yourself. That's why we prefer that brainwave to work. And what happens when we, now that we tune to the theta brainwave, we have also to have the intention to tune with the divine consciousness, or any other name you want to call it. Because you can access always your theta brainwave and have even bad intentions. Theta brainwave does not mean you enter God. You have to have the intention to enter God. Why we want to enter God? Because this is the higher consciousness, which is the unconditional love. You don't want to interpret or translate the experience of your life through a lower daily parts of yourself, which have a lot of fear and beliefs inside. You want to try to interpret your life through your highest self. So that's why we want to access God, because there also it is unlimited. The capacities are unlimited. When you access lower parts of yourself, the capacity is very limited. But there, it's the universe. It's the infinite. So you have infinite power now in your hands to use it with wisdom and in a God sense, not a power just to do whatever you like, of course. So what happens when we have a small meditation which lasts around 3 minutes. We will do this meditation today to be able to access the theta brainwave and to be able also to access the divine consciousness. And then when we will do that, what it will happen is that all our abilities, intuitive abilities, they will wake up. Not today with this meditation, of course, if you do this meditation often. It will happen naturally. What does it mean, intuitive abilities? It means our 5 senses, now they have become infinite perceptions. So the usual vision becomes clairvoyance. The usual hearing becomes clairaudience. That means that now you can see everything with your eyes. You cannot see more than 10 kilometers. No, sorry, 10 meters or 20 or 100 meters or 1 kilometer. But with your clairaudience, you can see everything. everything in the universe. You can bring your mind a person and see in the picture of your mind what this person is doing. When you have clairaudience, you hear voices inside, but the divine voices, not just any noise of your fears and of your mind. Touch becomes empathy. In order to feel somebody, you have to touch him. But now with empathy, maybe the other person is in Brazil, from Greece, in Brazil, but you can perceive what this person is feeling. And smell and taste becomes ultra perception. So why we need to develop intuitive abilities? We need to develop them because, yes, here's the meditation that we will be doing soon. Just a moment. We need to develop these abilities because with the intuitive abilities, we can enter our mind, our subconscious mind. Our mind, scientists say that only 10% of the mind is conscious. The rest, 90%, is subconscious mind. What does that mean? This is the totality of our mind. So every single experience from the day we were born and during pregnancy, from the very first day of our conception, through the age we have now, everything we have experienced already made synapses in our minds, on our brain cells. So this is the memory of, it is the mind, it's the memory that we have inside us. So all these memories, all these experiences are already in our mind. They're already in our synapses of our brain cells. Now what's happening? Only 10% of them we are consciousness. All the 90%, it's there, but we don't know. And because it's the 90%, every day we deal with our daily life through our mind. But we deal with this 90%. But we don't know what is there. So we do things, and we don't know why we do them. We want things, and these things, they don't happen, but we don't know why they don't happen. They don't happen because we want them with our conscious mind. But the rest of the 90% says different things. I will give you an example. I want to lose weight. Consciously, we say, I'm fat, I want to lose weight. But this is only the 10%. The 90% says, oh, you are fat. Do you know why you are fat? Because by gaining weight, you are more safe. By gaining weight, now you're more safe because, the opposite sex won't approach you anymore. You're fat, they won't approach you so much, so you are safe. Because when you were 15, do you remember this boy dumped you and you almost wanted to commit suicide because of this emotional pain? So better be safe, don't commit suicide. So in order to be safe, gain more weight, then you will feel more safe. So the mind, in order to survive, makes all these twisted thought patterns, and it keeps them inside you, not for bad reason, for you to survive, but you work through them throughout all your life. And this is just only an example. Millions of thought patterns like that. So what we do with our intuitive abilities, we enter and we find these thought patterns, and we bring them to our conscious mind, so we know them now. Now we're conscious. And now that we're conscious, we can change them. If you don't know what is inside you, you cannot change it. But now that it's conscious, you can change it. So we will be doing a brief meditation of 3 minutes in order to feel a little bit how it is to relax your mind, to bring it down to the theta brainwave, and how it is to access this divine consciousness inside you. And with this relaxed state, we will go deep inside us to find our negative thought patterns, our beliefs. So, are you ready to do this meditation? 3 minutes. Of course, it can last as long as you like. You can do it for 10 minutes, but now because we don't have so much time, I will do it very briefly. So, close your eyes, bring your attention to your heart. And now imagine that all your energy goes down to the center of the earth. And see the center of the earth as the Mother Earth, the Mother Nature, and connect with her. She's God as well. And now that you're connected with Mother Nature, bring all this energy, which is also God, nature is also God, bring all this energy from the center of the earth upwards towards yourself. Imagine that this energy enters your feet and goes up to your spine and goes up to your head. Now, at the center of your head, imagine that this energy goes out of your head, and there, a very nice ball of light is created, and you sit inside that ball of light. You think like it's a light cart, a car made of light, and you sit inside it, and this now vehicle travels, goes up, 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 and goes up to the universe. And this ball of light travels up, 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 goes further up and more up, and now passes through the whole universe and enters many bright lights. And these bright lights, they represent our spiritual realms. And you go past all these bright lights, and you see more bright lights, and you go up, up, and more upwards. And now you enter a golden light, and you go through this golden light, which is an upper spiritual realm of our consciousness. And there you can feel and sense a lot of love from angels, from archangels, from divine beings. And you travel through this golden light, go more up, more up, more up. And you leave also this area, and going further up, now you meet the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe are very big, huge consciousness that they keep all the universe in order. They keep everything in a nice order. And you travel through these laws of the universe. It is like you travel through a thick water or a jelly substance. And you go upwards, upwards, you go more up, up, up. And now you see a nice pink light. And this pink light represents the law of compassion. And this compassion will lead you to the final destination. So you follow this nice pink light, and you go more up, more up, more up. And finally, you see a very nice pearly white light. It's like a pearl. And this white light shines like the sun. And you enter this light. And now you see around you only this white bright light. This is the divine consciousness. This white bright light represents the divine consciousness. Now the whole of your body has become white bright light, which is like the white of a pearl. It's iridescent and it shines like the pearl. The whole body now, every cell, every atom of your body is now light, a bright white light. And everything around you is a bright white light. So by this you understand that the whole cosmos, everything in the creation, this bright white light is the base of the whole creation. So you and the whole creation, now you are one. And this feeling of oneness is the feeling that brings you to God. You are everything with one, with everything. You are one with everything. Everything is one with you. Now your brain is in a theta brain wave, and your consciousness is tuned to the divine consciousness, which means that you are connected with the whole of the creation. And with this connection with the whole of the creation, with this unity that you feel inside you, you can keep it now in your mind, keep it in your heart, and slowly, slowly open your eyes. So this is the pearl, and this is the pearly white light that we imagine. It's not like white like here. It's like the pearl, because it shines. The white color is not shining, but the pearl is shining. That's why we use it. But also there's scientific reason why we use the white. Because the sun, when the sun is white, it's not yellow. We see it as yellow because of our atmosphere. But if you go out in the universe, it's white. So photons are coming as from the sun, as a radiation from the sun, and this is white. So the white light, if it hits on a crystal, you see that it divides in many of the colors of the rainbow, isn't it? So this is why we use the white color, because the white color is the synthesis of all the other colors, of all the other vibrations in the universe. So it's not like by accident we use white. It's because it contains all the vibrations of the universe inside it. Okay, so now our brain is connected to the infinite energy. We can go and find our negative beliefs. And our negative beliefs, they created through the day one of our conception. So if our mother find out that she was pregnant, she was happy, immediately that happiness, this feeling of happiness creates chemicals and hormones, changes of hormones in her brain. So this affects immediately the embryo, the new cells. If the mother was unhappy and, oh my God, what I will do with that, immediately gets into a stress situation, and this stress situation immediately translates with different chemicals in the brain, and that goes and affects the embryo. So the embryo, from the day one, it will feel, she or he will feel, oh, I'm not loved. I may not even survive. The death is imminent. I may not even live one further day. So even the embryo creates his first beliefs there. If the mother was happy, the embryo will feel. Its first beliefs will be, oh, I'm loved. I will survive. I'm safe. I can trust. And so the life goes. If you have good parents and you are in a good family situation, you will create more positive beliefs in your life. But if it's different, you will create negative beliefs in your life about yourself and about life in general. If further, when you grow up, you are in a good personal relationship, emotional or sexual relationship, immediately you will create more self-confidence. You will feel that you have a purpose in life. But if you're in a bad relationship and you see that of all the relationships, the personal relationship is the one that even can destroy the person. People are committing suicides, even if they're young, because they feel rejected or other negative feelings. So the other example is if you're inside your business life and you feel very trapped and you feel without purpose, immediately this adds to your negative beliefs. But if you like this man, you are relaxed, you have the profession that you really love and like in your life, you feel a purpose in your life. So of course in Theta Healing we want to find this area, the negative beliefs, but this we can find them only with intuition. Just if we go with a friend in a coffee and he tells me, oh, do you know, today I fought with my girlfriend. Just out of our usually daily mind, we can tell him, don't worry, all women are the same. But if you use your intuition and do a healing of this person, you will see, oh, what do you feel when you fight with your girl? Oh, I feel rejection. When was the first time you felt rejected? Here. You will find it only with your intuition, when your mother did not wanted you. And what happened, because at that moment you were very small and you cannot react to that rejection, you kept it in your subconscious mind, and it just repeats itself. It repeats all the time. Even you can be 60-year-old, 70-year-old, 80-year-old, and still feel, my mother does not love me. It doesn't change, because it is inside on your subconsciousness. All right, so what we do we're going to do a small exercise now. Close your eyes. You already did your meditation, so you are in this connection with the divine. And close your eyes and bring in your memory a negative experience, and ask yourself, ask God inside you, ask your higher self, what negative pattern did I create from that experience? What did I feel? What did I think of myself from that experience? And the first thing that it will come to your mind, just grab that. Don't overthink. The first thing that it will come to your mind, that will be the truth also. what did I think of myself? What did I think of the world after that experience? All right, by now it should have come to your mind. It should be just the first thing that comes to your mind. So, would you like to say something? Did something come to your mind? Or I was too fast?
I was,
You don't have to say the experience, just say what came after that. Yes, please.
Well, I thought about the world.
Yeah, about the world, yes. The world is exhausting.
Injustice.
Injustice,
Yeah.
the world is unjust. Yes,
Unjust, yeah.
yes. All right, good. Yeah, that's very common, yes. Everybody feels like that. Yes, it was like, did you find out? Did you figure out something?
Yeah,
Yes,
my
what?
world was betrayed.
My world is betrayed. Yeah, betrayal, yes, that's also very common. Did you find something?
Yeah, it was something that I already knew though, so, and it's something I have dealt with, but it still made me feel quite emotional. And it was, it was because I actually brought the feelings back, because I wanted to try and really reconnect, so, and that was that I didn't belong.
I don't belong here. Yeah? Fear. All right, let's do now the opposite. Of course, these feelings are very uncomfortable. They make us feel very unpleasant, okay? And it's there, where we have programmed with these feelings, and even a good person comes in front of us, a good situation, a good opportunity, because we have these thought patterns, the negative ones, we will treat this person badly, even if the person in the situation is good. Okay, so now let's do the opposite. Bring in your mind a very positive experience, and what did you feel? What did you think? What did you create inside yourself from that positive experience? Again, just say the first thing that pops into your mind. Don't overthink. Yes?
Trust.
Trust. Okay. Now I can trust. Okay. Truth. Yes? Love.
Bliss.
Blessed or bliss? Bliss. All right. So that's what we do in theta healing. If the person has created inside him negative beliefs, we change them into positive. Because when the person has positive beliefs, immediately his mood, his emotions are changing into positive ones. Okay, this is all about psychological issues. Let's see now health. How with theta healing? So let me see the time. Okay, we have time. How with theta healing we can heal in the physical body? So let's do some chemistry from the school. We have the periodic table of the elements. Now it is 118. And these elements are all the material in our universe, even if it is a human, animal, stone, a plant. Everything consists of one combination of these elements. These elements, they're called atoms. And we have the atom of hydrogen, the atom of oxygen, the atom of nitrogen. And the atoms, as we know from chemistry, we have the nucleus. Inside the nucleus is the proton and the neutron. And around the nucleus, they go the electrons. And all this unity, we call it atom. Until the 1900, yes? 1900, okay, 1900. All right, 1900. The scientists believe that that's the bottom. You cannot divide it further. But from 1920, they found that even inside the proton and the neutron, there are quarks, more smaller particles. Now they call them subparticles, because they're inside the neutron and the proton. And this, they call them quarks in brief. And these quarks, they're not matter. Up to that point, especially when you do bonds between atoms, you make a molecule. Molecule is a matter. But the molecule, which consists of atoms, and atoms consist of quarks, quarks are not matter. They're just energy. And even that energy have different laws from the physical laws. When you are in the level of the atom, you have the law of gravity, the law of acceleration. You have many physical laws. But here, nothing applies anymore. There, it's out of the laws of time and of space. You can see the same quark simultaneously in two different places. They travel with velocities beyond the speed of light, faster than the speed of light. And many other things that they don't apply in the physical, with the usual physical laws. That's why now the new science has created what's called quantum physics. We have the physics, now we have quantum physics, and it's the physics that tries to study the subparticles, the quarks. So, what does it mean for us? It means that our body consists of oxygen, which is an atom, consists of carbon, which is an atom, consists of hydrogen, which is an atom, consists of nitrogen, which is atom. And all these atoms in different combinations, they make molecules, and the molecules makes the first cells, and the cells that make the first body organs. So, since we consist of atoms, all our organs consist of atoms. And what did I say before? Inside the atoms are quarks. Let's see also the molecule of our DNA. Our DNA is inside every single cell, and it's the molecule that is responsible because inside the DNA there are the genes, and because of our genes we have the body that we have. If we had genes of a frog, we would be a frog. If we had genes of a fly, we would be a fly. We have genes of a human, we are human. So the genes are giving the information to be what you are. So, molecule, DNA is a molecule. Here, DNA is a molecule. Molecules are consisting of atoms. Atoms are consisting of their nucleus. And the nucleus is consisting of protons and neutrons, as I said. Now, here we have only the protons. And the protons are consisting of quarks. So, DNA is also energy. Quarks are energy, so DNA is also energy. Because DNA is consisting again from phosphate, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen, atoms. So, atoms are quarks, so DNA is also quarks. So, what does that mean? When we have an illness, in theta healing, we don't see it as a body, just the outer part of it. We see it as quarks, as energy. So actually here we have oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. And if you really put them on the, microscope, you will see it as like that, as an energy, and even shiny energy. So you won't see it like this. So this is, in reality, the human body. And how we heal it? Because you saw in the beginning, we tune with the divine energy. Divine energy is the highest energy with the highest frequency, the frequency of love, the frequency of symmetry. When you have an illness in your body, your quarks are out of sync. They don't make good bonds between them. They're in disharmony between them. So when you're doing healing, you imagine that you shower the person with the divine light, so with this energy of divine, and you tune his quarks, the electromagnetic fields of the quarks, you tune it to the health, to the divine consciousness. And this is how the healing is done. And somebody now will ask, let me say also that. When we think something in our brain, this is all our nervous system. Immediately it translates to, when we think something, immediately that gives signals to our brain cells, and all these signals are traveling through the body. These signals are going to all our endocrine system, and they're going to our muscles in order to move the body. If you think, you think. It's a thought. I want to get up from the bed and go to clean my teeth. So it's a thought, to clean my teeth. Immediately the brain will go to the muscles and say, muscles, move. Get up the person from his bed and take him to the toilet and lift up your toothbrush to clean your teeth. So everything comes from the brain. So that's why in theta healing, even if there is an illness, we go to see the thought patterns of the person. If he's in anxiety, in fear, in rejection, or he's happy. And because we can perceive the thought patterns of the person through our intuition, then we can suggest him now the positive thoughts and beliefs that he has to have in order to change the illness to health. And so our DNA is constantly changing every single day by our thoughts and beliefs. So we can even heal diseases who are coming from our ancestors through our genes. And, okay, we will pass that because we don't have so much time. So, how the intuitive reading is done. So, we close our eyes and we ask God, what this person is, okay, the person is telling the story of his problems. And we ask God, what is the thought patterns, what is the negative beliefs, and how I can change them. And how I can perceive his thoughts, or how I can read his body and see every single organ of his body. We can make an intuitive scanning and see where's the illness, why it hurts, what is the states of this illness. Like you go to a doctor, you can do it intuitively. How you can do it? Because the body consists of quarks, and these are vibrating every single second. So your mind, your brain cells are catching these quarks, and they translate them into a vision, or as I said, clairvoyance, or clairaudience, or empathy. This is how it happens. It's like the cell receives signals from the electromagnetic fields of the atmosphere and translates them into voices and pictures. Exactly the same thing the brain does. That's why we created this. Humans have created that. So they put the brain into a machine, actually. The function of the brain into a machine. And how the healing is done, what I said before is how the diagnosis of the problem, the exploration of the problem is happening, how the healing is happening. The healing is happening because you say to the person now, you tune to the person, you tell him orally positive affirmations and positive beliefs and feelings. And I will make an example now with you. Is that okay? So, you will close your eyes. I will be receiving what is your negative patterns, and I will ask God with what good feelings I should say to you in order to change your negative patterns. And since you are four, it will be very private. It will be concerning you exactly. And when you will hear these positive beliefs, if you feel them that they're in tune with your heart and you agree, you can say an oral yes. That means that consciously you allow what you heard from me to enter your subconscious. Because if you don't give your conscious consent, nothing enters your subconscious. Okay? So I need your oral yes. If you don't like what I say, if you don't agree, you don't say anything, and that will not go to you. You have your free will to decide. Okay? All right, so close your eyes. Would you like to live your daily life feeling that you are totally free to live your dreams and your ideals?
Yes.
So now that you are saying yes, what you heard from me, I imagine that as a light, white bright light, enters your cells, enters your subconscious mind, and becomes part of you. And now you will do your daily life through this positive reprogramming. Would you like to know how to live your daily life feeling that you feeling that you are able to do everything your heart desires? Feeling that there are not restrictions to your dream from God. And feeling that always, of course, God would like you to fulfill your inner soul dreams, the dreams of your soul. So again, I shower you with the white, bright light that carries all these feelings that you heard from me. And the last one, would you like to know how to live your daily life feeling that you are loved and you are accepted.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. You can open now your eyes. So this is how we transmit the new divine energy to the person. We tell it to the person orally. He hears. So his brain makes synapses, new synapses. So his brain is releasing new good hormones. These hormones are affecting the body. So it's good for the soul. It's good also for the body. All right. Now, we run out of time. So I will be on my table on the main hall. It's number 12. And we can discuss further there, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.